Okay, welcome everybody. This is the first tutorial in exercise 3. And so in exercise 3, notice that after you go ahead and select the topic that you're interested in and the location that you're interested in, with some place that has at least 100,000 person city, then you're ready to build your base map. And to build your base map, you're going to use something called Mapbox. So in order to get to Mapbox, once you've generated your own account, it's free. An account is free. Then you'll be able to log into Mapbox, and you can go in so you can see that I'm already logged in, right? And you can go straight to Studio. So Studio is where you actually build the base map. So you can go straight into Studio, and it'll show. I was playing around in here a couple days ago, so it'll show you some of your most recent maps and a few of the options it'll give you. Oops, sorry about that. So you'd be able to enter one of your most recent maps, customize a map style. So that's basically making your own map style. Visualize your data, so uploading some of the data in what is called a tile set, and we'll talk more about what tile sets are. Develop with your map, so once you have a map, you can use it to do some web development and find inspiration, so you can actually explore, right? You can explore other people's maps that they've made. And notice that you do have an option to add this style, so you can actually add someone's map style to your new project. And so that becomes really useful if someone has made a style that you really like. Like, say you really like this Wham style, you could actually add this and start modifying it to make a style of your own. So what we're going to want to do, what I'm going to want to do, it's up to you how you want to start your project here. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with a new style here. And I'm just going to name it exercise 3. Okay. So I've made it exercise 3 base map. So you can see you can choose a lot of different types of base maps here from Mapbox. So, for example, you can use satellite imagery. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and choose an empty style. So that way I can add things, and I highly recommend you doing that, starting with an empty style, so that you can add things as you need them, rather than picking one of these and having a whole bunch of preloaded stuff that you may or may not want. But if what you're doing, if you feel like using one of these preloaded ones instead, feel free to do that too. So I'm going to go ahead and just load an empty style. And so, we basically have this blank template here. And so here's the background. This is basically going to be the background for our base map as we're working on it here. So I am going to choose, right now there's no color chosen. So I'm going to set the value of the color here. So just for fun, just so I'll know, where I'm at, I'm going to choose, let's choose something. Let's choose blue. Okay. So the blank part of my map, so the canvas that's going to be underneath, everything else is going to be blue. Okay. Okay, so it's set there. And so that should, oops. So now that I've set this as blue, let me check to make sure. Yep, got that as blue. We'll continue, and you can change the name of this layer. We'll just continue to call it background. And here, right, you can change the opacity. So if you want it to be a bit see-through, but we want it to be pretty solid because it is just the back. And you can hide or view the layer. And I'm having a little trouble here for some reason. This layer's not showing up. So I could duplicate this layer. So I could add another layer. So layer from data. So that's if I had some data on my system, which you'll see how we use that. But I'm going to use the background layer. So I'm just going to make a new background layer. Let's call this new background. Okay. And it's been added as black. So, but instead, let's make it fuchsia. There we go. Yeah, let's just make it a light red. Why not? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and delete. For whatever reason, this first background layer didn't work. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. So I'm going to highlight it and press delete one layer. There we go. Got rid of that. And then now we've got this other layer here, which we can click on. We can see it's just a solid red layer. We can choose to hide that layer or view that layer. And you can also group layers so that they turn on and off together or duplicate this layer. So anyway, that is how to go into Mapbox and start a blank base map and get yourself just a solid color. And so the next tutorial we'll talk about doing some of the styling, bringing in some more data to start making your map look really good. All right. Well, thank you very much.